This is an illustrator in 12-step recovery. I've been looking up words from the original book of Alcoholics Anonymous, written in the 1930s by a gentleman named Bill Wilson. And the book I looked him up in was a Webster's dictionary, which was current at the time the big book was written. That was very helpful to understand the 12 steps to me. Now, there's something else called the 12 Traditions, which actually came out in a different book about 12 years later, called the 12 Steps of 12 Traditions. It was written by the same author, plus he had help. Now, I'm assuming his vocabulary did not change a lot between 1939, when he finished the big book, and 1952, when the second book came out. But I'm going to have to go ahead and use this because Webster's didn't come out with another authoritative unabridged dictionary in the 1950s. So the 11th tradition reads as follows. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. When I looked it up in the Webster's dictionary, just to make sure I'm not bringing my 21st century biases, attraction, which seemed to be kind of a key word in this tradition, attraction should be the basis of our public relations, not promotion. And I wondered, well, how do you get people to come in if you're not allowed to promote your organization? So attraction means an act, process, or power of drawing to or causing to tend to. So an act, process, or power of drawing to, that sounds a lot like attracting, and or causing to tend to. That means someone standing out in the street, never been to your meeting before, wondering if maybe they're making too much of their drinking or other, destructive behavior, and maybe they should just go home. And the question is, do they feel the tendency to go ahead and come in and try the meeting, as I did? Because my alternative was to commit suicide. And I don't say that lightly, but I decided those were my two choices: go in and try the program, or I was going to end my life. It's sad to say, but that was true. So something about it led me to tend to go ahead and give it a try. When it came time for me to do my drawing, I was still trying to puzzle the difference between attraction and promotion. Now, promotion is when you go out and get things. And I thought of a kid, when you're out in a public place and there are pigeons around, inevitably a kid will see the pigeon. They're just a few feet away, and he'll say, well, I'm going to get a pigeon. And he'll go running after it. Well, the pigeons aren't too keen on that idea, and they'll usually run away faster than he can run after them. And he doesn't have much luck. I don't think I ever remember seeing a child actually catch a pigeon. There's another approach I'll often see in a park, public place, somebody who's got some bird seed or other feed, and they're throwing it out to the birds, and the birds are liking this. They're actually happy to get close to this person because they're not lunging out and trying to grab them. I can guarantee you they would not stick around if she did. But she's simply sending out what it is that they are hungry for, and then calmly letting them decide what they want to do about it. And I would just say that's the spiritual lesson I take from this tradition, is if I've got a meeting where nobody is showing up, and that happens a lot over many years, over decades, but I can say, what's wrong with these people? Do we need to put a billboard out on the interstate? Do we need to advertise online? And the truth is, people have been showing up and then never showing up again, which, when I stop and think about it, is a clue that when they actually did come up and get a whiff, get a sample of what we're doing, it wasn't attractive. They thought, these people are just sitting around complaining. I can go do that at the bar. So the question is, when someone comes to your meeting, do they hear something that attracts them? Do they hear honesty? Do they hear hope? Do they hear strength? Do they hear the possibility that there's a solution to the problem that's killing them? Do they hear the possibility that maybe their family could be restored, or they could in some way make amends to the people they've harmed? Well, I'll leave it to you to decide which is a better method, to send out that kind of message, or whether to go out and put up billboards and chase people around and say, you should be in this meeting. But the tradition is pretty clear about which one they believe in. You can always see more at 12drawings.com. Thanks for listening.